This is a brand new Roblox account that I made. He's currently a level 1 TDX player who only has the Ranger Tower. And in today's video, we'll be testing the Ranger Tower in easy mode in 3 different maps, ranging from easy to normal to something a little hard, I guess, to see if the Ranger army is capable of killing the Plague Doctor 3 times. But first, I'm gonna have to claim my achievements here. Alright, and let's go to the first map. Now, this is part of a much bigger series that I'm doing where I'm trying to get this account to at least level 100 and beyond by every single obtainable tower in the game and beat every single mode in the game. In general, just beat the entire game. So, oh wait, there's there's all rig, alright? So, we're on the first map for easy mode, which is all rig. Alright, so it's time to pick easy mode, I guess. So I'm gonna go place this ranger over here. Yeah, that seems about right. Yeah, I'm gonna upgrade this guy to 1-1. The first few enemies spawned, and they were approaching my ranger. And yes, I had to activate the speed boost so that my attention span won't get bored of this. I just upgraded my ranger for the first few waves, and just watched them kill everything. I placed my second ranger in the... Anyways, enough with the red arrows and overused sound effects. I placed 2 more rangers in the next 2 waves and upgraded both of them to 2-1. I upgraded both of my rangers to 2-2 so that we could do a little better. At wave 6, the enemies started to stack, but I skipped the wave anyway because I knew I could do well. I upgraded my first ranger to 3-1. Looks good, doesn't it? And I did the same with the other 2 rangers. I placed my 4th ranger and started upgrading him so that he could do better. Somehow, I skipped wave 8 and I felt way too overconfident that I could survive both waves. And even though I was upgrading both of my rangers to 3-2, I skipped wave 9 again, putting an even bigger challenge on my ranger army, since there were only 5 3-2s anyway. Some chain bosses and stealth enemies came, and looks like I was about to lose easy mode already on the easiest map in the game. Like, actually, I skipped. Why did I do that? A lot of really high health enemies leaked and I could die right now. Unless if I skipped wave 10 and just placed the 4-2 ranger thinking I could afford it. And even though I could have just upgraded him, I sold him because I knew he would be worthless. And just placed another ranger so that I could get better results. And I successfully upgraded him to 4-2. And that 4-2 ranger ended up killing almost all of the enemies. Even the high health chain bosses. And these were the only leaks. 2 armored zombies, which wasn't that big of a deal, to my 400 HP base. Anyways, I had to get back to my front army so that I could place and upgrade my rangers so that none of those leaks will happen again. For the next few waves, I just spammed 3-2 rangers and upgrading them to 4-2 if I even had the money to. Once again, my 4-2 back ranger did well and killed the last remaining chain boss that leaked. But I sold him because he was useless. I knew that there's no more leaks that could get past my defense. And so to make sure that will not happen again, I upgraded every single one of my rangers to 4-2 so that they could do better. Wave 14 was the easiest wave ever. Just a bunch of stealth enemies at their weakest. At wave 15, while I could have just decided to let the leaks kill my base, I placed another ranger so that I could kill the other 2 armored zombies from earlier, and they just died like that. Anyway, back to my front army defense. At wave 16, these legged enemies came. I forgot their name. At wave 17, even more legged enemies came, and I just upgraded my rangers to 4-2 because I just placed a few more rangers. At wave 18, these 750 health hazmat enemies came, but again, they were no match against my powerful 4-2 ranger army. At wave 19, I maxed my first ranger, which was pretty cool, so that my ranger could do the best. At wave 20, the first abomination came, but he died because of my maxed rangers. Is that his name, right? Abomination? Hopefully I'm not stealing that from another game. Anyways, I was slowly maxing my rangers 1 by 1 to 5-2, so I just kept skipping waves because I could just skip until wave 23 and not have any problems at all since my ranger army is way too powerful. And by skipping waves I got tons of money, and even the highest health of enemies couldn't get past my defense because they were so easy. I skipped wave 23 so that I can kill the first plague doctor of this video. And yes, he shot the grenade at the wrong way. I mean throw. The plague doctor's health was getting decimated, and they were throwing the grenades at the right direction this time. He spawned some smaller enemies, even 2 knights. Actually 3. And he even did this fire rate slowing potion thingies. I sold 3 rangers, but yet he died. And I won my first ever match in TDX, which was an easy mode match in oil rig. I got an A10 strike, I got 400 coins, and a little over 1,700 EXP. Now before we get to the second normal mode map, I had to claim my achievements here, again, and now I'm level 2. Don't mind me, I'm just waiting for the normal mode map, which I think is gonna come very soon. Oh, okay, yeah, he's here already. So for the second map, for normal mode, it's Danger Beach. Alright, so for Danger Beach, let's pick easy mode again. And now let's begin. I activated the second speed boost of this video and placed my first 1-1 ranger before the match started. And the reason why Danger Beach is a normal difficulty map is because of this fence over here, which blocks my towers from attacking enemies, which would become a problem later on, but for now, it's only wave 2, and all I have is a level 2-1 ranger, which is definitely enough to wipe out the entirety of wave 2. And by wave 3, I placed my second ranger and started upgrading him to 2-1. By wave 5, I already had 2 rangers, which were both level 2-2, and around the same timeline, I placed my third ranger and started upgrading him to 2-1, and eventually level 2-2 as well. I skipped wave 6 so that I can upgrade my first ranger to 3-2 so that we can deal enough damage to the enemies, so that none of them can get past through the fence, which is basically the biggest threat of this map. But eventually, I started upgrading both of my rangers to 3-2 as well, so that we will have no problems at all beating this match. At wave 8, I placed my fourth ranger, which is the same wave where the first few armored zombies of this match would come. But thanks to the help of my 4 rangers, they all died. And eventually, I upgraded my 4th ranger to level 3-2. It was wave 9 and I just placed 2 more rangers, and this was my time to shine, as I was slowly gonna expand my level 3-2 ranger army. But the crowds at wave 9 was a little threatening because of the amount of armored zombies, and a lot of them did get through the fence, but luckily my rangers, whose range can still reach it, only let a few leaks pass, which is basically nothing to my 400 HP base. At wave 10, the first few chain bosses of this match came, but they died easily without any problems and just expanded my ranger army more. Wave 11 was just a bunch of chain bosses. Wave 12 is when these 375 health enemies came, but my rangers are just simply too powerful. Wave 13 is just basically the same crowd of enemies from the last few waves, but they're way too easy. Wave 14 is our favorite stealth fast zombies, which is basically my favorite wave because as long as your damage towers have hidden detection, they're dead. Like literally. They just died like that. Around wave 15, I started upgrading my 3-2 rangers to level 4-2 since I was running out of space. Well, not really, but I just needed more damage. And the enemies would start ramping up their health pretty soon, so I had to prepare by upgrading all of my rangers to 4-2 and even better, max level. By wave 18, all of my rangers are officially level 4-2. And around wave 19, just shortly after, I maxed my first ranger. And just like last round, I just maxed my rangers one by one and skipped every wave until wave 23 of course, so that I get unlimited money and max all of my rangers without having any problems. By around wave 23, all of my 12 rangers have already been maxed, and just like last round as well, I just placed a couple of bottom path rangers for the splash damage, so that we can kill the smaller crowds of enemies, while my main top path DPS rangers can just focus on the Plague Doctor, because it's already wave 24, which is kind of insane. Oh, I placed a level 0 ranger for bait, and he actually fell for it. Boom, boom, boom. Why am I doing that? His health was getting decimated, and all of his smaller enemy spawns did nothing. As he sprayed a bunch of red stuff, I used the bottom path ranger's ability so that we can still deal damage to him, and it was pretty close. Are we gonna win? Well, that was pretty cool. My first Danger Beach easy mode win in TDX. I got a cash crate this time though. Danger Beach was a little too easy, but it's not as easy as Oil Rig, because Oil Rig you just spam a bunch of rangers on a square. However, this third and last map might not have that same case as with the other two maps. And even though it's a normal difficulty map, I can't access that level 30 area, so that's why for the third map, it's Military Harbor. So this map is actually normal difficulty, but let's just pretend it's hard mode. Anyways, I picked easy mode and activated the third and last speed boost of this video and placed my first 1-1 ranger before the match started on top of a red shipping container box thing. I could have placed it back there, but it already happened. Also, wave 1 was pretty cakewalk difficulty. And by wave 2, my first ranger is already level 2-1. I skipped wave 2 so that I can upgrade my ranger to 2-2 and placed my second ranger right next to my first so that we can deal more damage. And started upgrading him to level 2-2 as well so that no leaks will happen. And surely wave 5 is gonna have the same case study thing, right? Well, it was pretty close, but a few speedies leak, and so I placed my first back ranger on the circle thing and upgraded him to 2-1 and placed my second back ranger so that we can deal even more damage, because my two front rangers weren't holding up to the crowds of enemies and how high their health is becoming. So I just kept upgrading my two back rangers until I got level 3 twos. Because by around wave 8, the enemy crowd started to ramp up and I really needed more damage. So that's why I kept upgrading my two back rangers, which would eventually turn into my long-term giant main defense army. But for now, I only have two level 3 twos that can easily kill everything. Also, I placed my third ranger for extra damage and started upgrading him to level 3-2 as well. They were about to go around the circle, but they died. Anyways, my two rangers are struggling, so I'ma just place more 3-2 back rangers. That's the only solution. Sell them both. Sell them both! Yes. Anyways, at wave 10, the enemies reached pretty far. Yeah, that was actually pretty close. And the reason why I put this map into hard is because the lack of good space. Or maybe I just suck at this game. But yeah, if all the enemies go around this entire circle, we're basically dead. Especially if it's some high health fast enemy. So that's why I'm ramping up my defense at the back and turning it into my main defense army. And that's what I did for the next few waves. Just spammed level 3-2 rangers, so that the chained bosses will die. Yes, they died. These 375 health armored heavy zombies are nothing. They died like that. They didn't even come close. Now, I have a lot of 3-2 rangers, but the highest health of enemies were getting close. So that's why I upgraded them to level 4-2, so that we can deal more damage, because placing more is not always the solution. By wave 15, two of my first back rangers are now level 4-2. And I was gonna replicate that process to all of my 9 rangers. Because the crowds are concerningly increasing their health and the volume of high health zombies. But my rangers are too powerful for that. These mutated zombies, they're easy as frick. I can just repeat the same process just like last round. where I was just spamming level 4-2 rangers and maxing them one by one. I don't have a strategy. Easy mode is so easy. Well, for this map, I'm not sure.
You will never beat me.
What the frick? Why did I just say that? I am not the plague doctor at all. I'm a human being.
What?
I maxed my first ranger at wave 18. And for the last few waves, I just maxed my rangers one by one. Also, yeah, I could have placed my ranger there, but it's a bad spot. This abomination is running for his life. He's running to the death area thing. My rangers are so powerful, you guys. By skipping until wave 23, I was getting unlimited money so that I can freely max all of my rangers and all of my, let me count, 11 rangers are now maxed level. And now, just like the last 2 rounds, I placed a bunch of bottom path rangers. No, actually, I placed another top path DPS ranger. But from this point on, I placed a bunch of bottom path rangers for the splash damage. Look at them burn. And now, it was wave 24. I placed a bunch of level 0 bait rangers, just like last round, but instead of 1, I placed 5. For some reason, I placed a bottom path ranger at the front. For extra damage, I guess, because I thought I was gonna lose.
You thought you're gonna lose? You're gonna lose.
Yeah, Plague Doctor is so easy. My army was going all out. His health was getting decimated. And looks like we were gonna win this. But he was going around the circle and he was getting past all my DPS rangers. He spawned a bunch of smaller enemies and I don't know. I can't commentate anymore. This is how it went. Please, die, please. We did it! My first military harbor win in TDX. I got the same cash crate from last round, but this time I got 500 coins and 2200 XP. So there you have it. I beat all 3 maps. Oil Rig was an automatically flawless win. Defense at Danger Beach was a little threatening, but we still did it. And the Plague Doctor went fully around the circle at Military Harbor. But thanks to me spamming top path maxed rangers, we still killed them. And now that I've beaten all 3 maps, I now have 2,165 coins, which allows me to buy these 6 towers. But for now, you can just guess on which one I bought for the next episode.